Okay, so here we are with the latest version of AutoFxK. That's version 0.5a. The instructions you need in order to run the program are included in the manual that comes along with it. So what I'm going to do is just simply run you through setting up the settings page. That's basically to enter all the parameters the program requires to run. So assuming this is the first time that you're running the program, all you need to do is just double click the exe file, and when you do so you'll be taken through a validation process wherein you'll have to enter your email address, and the validation code will be emailed to you directly by the program itself. Just make sure you're connected to the internet while that happens. Once that's taken care of, what you'll notice is that the program will automatically bring up the settings page for you once it detects that it's the first time that you're running a program. And you see here, in comparison to how the program was structured previously, this is more of a tab layout now. You have the general tab, which basically has all the parameters that you need to enter for the program to figure out what account number you're going to be using, as well as the temporary folders and the folder that contains Forex Killer as well. So let's quickly run through that. First thing you need to do is enter your Forex account number, and here if you take a look at the account number I have for my MetaTrader account, it's 5337422. So I'm going to go ahead and punch that in there. Coming to the next box where you have the temporary folder path, this is a temporary folder that AutoFxK requires in order to write its files. So if in case you want to go ahead and choose some other folder, you could just simply click on the browse button over here and choose another folder. Most often when you just run the program for the first time, it automatically assumes that there's a folder, or rather it'll create a folder in the very same folder that contains AutoFxK itself. So let's move to the next one, which is the path to Forex Killer. Now this is very important because AutoFxK needs to detect Forex Killer, especially if it's the latest version 4.12, in order for it to operate. By default it'll assume that Forex Killer is in your C/program files. In my case it's different, so I'm going to go ahead and change that right now. I'm going to get into C drive, and here we have Forex Killer 4.12. Since we're using the latest version here, I'm going to choose the version 4.12. Now this is also very important because if you choose version 3, then you wouldn't be able to employ the probability strategy, which is available under the strategies tab, and I'll talk about that later. The probability strategy is available only for Forex Killer, the latest version, Forex Killer 4.12. Now coming to the next parameter, this one determines how often you'd want AutoFxK to check your charts. If you wanted to run through an entire loop and then check it every 2 minutes, you can leave it at the default. Otherwise, you could go ahead and choose for AutoFxK to check that every 5 minutes or so, or whatever is your choice. Right now, just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to choose 1 minute. And you have the delay between each action over here. As it rightly says in the manual, if you've got a computer that's fast enough, like 1 gigahertz or above, you can leave it at 100 milliseconds. If your computer is a little slower, or if you feel that the MetaTrader platform and Forex Killer are responding a little slowly, then you can change that to 150 milliseconds, and that should be that, at least when it comes down to the general tab. Now let's quickly go into the charts tab. Now over here, what you would need to do is make sure that you choose the charts arranged in the way that it is in your MetaTrader platform. So let's just quickly switch over there to MetaTrader, and under the new chart button you'll notice the order in which the charts are arranged, and this is exactly the same order that you should have it inside of the AutoFxK settings page. By default, AutoFxK comes programmed with the list for IBFX, so you shouldn't, if you're using IBFX, then you shouldn't have to change anything there. If you're using any other broker like Alperi US or UK, then you might have to change this order around. Once you're done with that, you could go ahead and select the time periods that you require for each of these charts. So just for now, just for the heck of it, I'm going to choose 5-minute frame, 15-minute, let's just say H1. It's not really necessary for you to go ahead and trade all of these charts. Whichever of the charts that you want to go ahead and trade, just make sure you put a check mark there at the side, and the ones which are not checked will not be traded whatsoever. And that basically takes care of choosing or selecting the charts that you want to trade. So let's quickly move into the order section over here. Initially, when you're testing out the program, my recommendation is that you leave it at the defaults. Number of orders per chart, that's 1. So let's see, over here we've selected 3 charts, and when you select 1 order per chart, that means that AutoFxK will make sure that there's a maximum of 1 order per chart. If you want to increase it, be my guest, go ahead and choose any other number here. But that just simply means that, let's say if I choose 3, it means that AutoFxK will ensure that there are at least a maximum of 3 orders per chart. So just leave that 1 for now, at least while you're testing this out. Then for the total maximum orders, you could go ahead and leave this at, say, 3 or 4 or 5 initially when you're testing it out. And lots per order, depending on how you trade, you might want to go ahead and leave that at a full lot, or you could just simply choose a smaller lot size like 0.1 instead, which we will do now since we're just testing this out for now. Okay, and then you have the order type. Now if you'd prefer AutoFxK to go ahead and place a trade immediately, then you just leave it at the default. Otherwise, if you'd prefer AutoFxK to place a limit order, you could go ahead and choose pending instead. Now besides that, you can also go ahead and specify the number of pips that you'd like for the take profit as well as the stop loss. Forex Killer actually goes ahead and suggests the take profit pips and stop loss pips. So if you'd prefer taking Forex Killer suggestions, then leave this checked. Otherwise, if you'd rather specify your own take profit, then uncheck this and then change the numbers over here. Okay, for now I'm just going to leave it checked here so that we take Forex Killer's recommendations.